唐沢さん、
なかなか見る目あるじゃねえか。ここ座
れ。ようこそ。What's good? What's going on? What's up? So, I'm back to play this game called The Council, a cool little cult game by a cool little studio. And in case you didn't already know, my name is BLUSH, man. Also known as Blush Do It Again. Why? I'll get into it in just a moment. But for now, let's continue right where we left off with nothing out of the ordinary whatsoever.
How many times must I tell you? You must never put your life on the line for me.
Mother has always had a fascination for Lord Mortimer, but has never wanted to tell me why.
We are doing our utmost to find your mother as quickly as possible. Without your mother, hundreds of men of the cloth would have gone to the guillotine.
all I can tell you is I'm looking for my sister.
Do you believe your mother capable of torturing a child?
An agreement for cannons. Lord Mortimer assured me that you are to take over the project on behalf of your mother.
Johann Christoph von Wollner, Minister of Religious Affairs, and Jacques Peroux, French Revolutionary Tribunal Judge. You will find that Lord Mortimer is not what one would call conventional, Monsieur de Richet.
I do apologize for being late. I was obliged to clear up some urgent business.
Woo! Alright, etiquette, because that's the only book that I could read.
At last we meet, Monsieur de Richet. Do you mind if I call you Louis?
Please do.
Thank you. I wish to apologize wholeheartedly, Louis. I made you cross the seas, and I wasn't even here to welcome you. When I asked you to join us here, it was, of course, in the hope that you would help us find your mother. Unfortunately, I am now confronted with another problem, which I would rather have done without. You see, last night, Miss Adams also went missing. I have had my people searching for her all over the island. Alas, to no avail. It so happens that both her mental and her physical health are extremely fragile. I'm worried that the same thing happened to her as to your mother. Also, I would appreciate it very much if you could tell me what you were doing on the floor in her room in the early hours
It's
of
quite
the
normal.
morning.
I can explain everything.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear it. You see, Sir Gregory is about to arrive, and he's taken Elizabeth's disappearance very, very seriously. Please, reassure him so that we can talk about your mother.
Uh-oh.
William, I would like to see you a moment before we begin. In private. Let's step outside a moment. Louis, this will only take a few moments.
All right, let's take this chance to look around.
Okay, so I got a few things that I got talked about. If you notice anything, well, let me see. Would you be able to tell? Yeah, if you were paying attention. Basically, I did my You better not talk again, motherfucker. Alright, so basically I did my last playthrough, the last episode, and I decided to go with Emily instead of going with Elizabeth. Long story short, I get to sleep with Emily. She questions me because, you know, she wants to do her thing, the reason she's here. And Elizabeth gets killed. So, I do feel like Elizabeth is a big part of this story somehow. So I went back and I redid it. I could have just not said anything, but that's not the type of guy I am. And I do want to kind of switch my mode from just fucking around thirst mode to picking choices that I would maybe make in real life, at least closer to what I would do maybe, or at least the smart choice. So I decided to help Elizabeth. Might not have been a smart choice, but it's cool to play these types of games a little bit more honest than me just fucking around and doing that. So instead of being dead, she is alive. She's just missing. She might still end up dead, but I did my simp ass white knight duty and I tried to save her. Now she drugged me and I was probably framed, but hey, fuck it. I don't like my main character, but we're gonna get him on the right path. And that's a Titan. Is that Aaron? What's Aaron doing in this game? So first we're gonna take all of his shit.
Drink this, it'll give you a real boost. The nightmare painted by Fusili in 1781.
I love Fusili. Alright, let me try. Excuse me. Enclosed are the witness statements of the guest Bonaparte and his borough. Statement of Napoleon Bonaparte. When asked, "What were you doing yesterday evening?" Monsieur Bonaparte replied, "After talking with Lord Mortimer, I spent the evening playing cards with Sir Gregory, Mr. Washington, and His Eminence Piaggi." Sir Gregory won. Of course, that bitch always win. When asked, "Did you notice anything strange throughout the evening?" Monsieur Bonaparte replied, "At daybreak, I saw someone on the balcony but couldn't see who it was." Statement of Duchess Hillsborough. When asked, "What were you doing yesterday evening?" the Duchess replied, "I spent the evening in Monsieur de Richet's company. We admired the works exhibited in the Manor Gallery." While going up to bed, we ran into Miss Adams. As I was tired, I left Monsieur de Richet and Miss Adams in conversation and went to bed. I got some Z's, dog. When asked, "Did you notice anything strange throughout the evening?" Duchess replied, "Not that I remember." Alright, so I got their statements. Everyone says they weren't up to shit, but everyone was up to shit. Oh, okay.
Please, sit back down, Louis.
This sort of behavior is not working in your favor, young man.
Gregory, Louis told me we needn't be concerned.
Of course. Monsieur de Richet, the situation seems to escape your grasp, so I won't beat about the bush. Did you kill Elizabeth Adams?
What? Elizabeth is dead?
No. Now let us remain calm. We do not yet know, Gregory, precisely what has happened to our poor Elizabeth.
I beg your pardon? So what are you accusing me of then?
We must remain calm, Gregory. We have found no evidence that would suggest that Elizabeth has been murdered. For the time being, she has only disappeared. Let's stick to the facts, if you please.
Well, where is she then?
Technically, I'm simply incapable of telling you where she
I'm
might
about to
be.
own them. You don't
We
even
never
know.
talked about her destination. What I can say is that the last time I saw Elizabeth, she was in her room, and she just decided to leave the island.
Gregory, you must admit that just because Louis doesn't know where Elizabeth is, does not prove that something's happened to her.
That's right, bitch.
Damnation. This is a fiasco. Sir, you don't seem to realize just how serious this is.
Let's try and remain calm, Gregory.
What's that?
In any case, it would be far better if Elizabeth really has left the island, as Louis says.
What kind of bird
Why
is
do you
that?
think she wanted to leave?
She was persuaded she was going to die. When she saw that you had invited my mother, she thought that you wanted to put an end to her. She felt betrayed.
But why didn't she speak to me about it?
Elizabeth had nothing to fear from us. You know very well who she was afraid of, but you don't dare say.
She was terrorized by my mother's presence here. Just the thought of coming face to face with her was unbearable.
Did she tell you why?
Yes, she brought the subject up.
I'm sorry, Louis. It couldn't have been easy to hear.
For your sake, I sincerely hope that she got there safely. Monsieur de Richet, I apologize if my words seemed a little abrupt. I dare not think what would happen.
Give me them
if you
traits.
came across your mother on the island. Your generosity may well cost you dearly.
I understand, my lord. I certainly regret it.
You don't need us for any of this. So come along, Monsieur Peru. We are leaving.
Right. It's time we spoke about your mother.
She isn't missing, you know.
What? What do you mean?
My mother has left traces in every nook and cranny of your island, my lord.
Why would
She's
you
definitely
say that, dude?
Now, what worries me most is why she doesn't show herself.
That doesn't make me feel any better, Louis.
What was the official reason why my mother came to your island?
I knew about your mother's activities and yours in the Golden Order. I thought we had everything to gain by working together.
You mean the cannon deal with Monsieur Bonaparte?
Among others, yes. How did you hear about that?
Monsieur Bonaparte came to speak to me about it yesterday, during lunch.
I see. So impetuous. He was supposed to let me speak to you about it first. Our friend Napoleon desperately needed financial backing to properly equip his army. I took it upon myself to back him because I have a firm conviction that he can go far.
We shall see. However, there's one thing that surprises me. Isn't Bonaparte a bit young to deserve so much attention?
Well, you've come straight to the point. I like that. Indeed, if you knew just how much you remind me of him. Trust me, I'll wager that Monsieur Napoleon will soon prove himself. I'm working on it, at least. Once this deal was closed, I had big plans for Sarah.
Such as what?
You see, I've invited several influential figures on my island to present them with a project at the conference. It will be presented later today. I thought that the Golden Order had a role to play, and I still think so. I was hoping Sarah would be able to join us.
I see.
Indeed, if by chance your mother decided not to return to us before the conference, would you do me the great honor of attending? If only to follow the deliberations while waiting for her to duly take her seat.
Why not? We shall see.
Ah, thank you so much. In this way, you'll be able to keep your mother informed of what is said. There's something else I'd like to speak of you. Earlier, you asked me the official reason for your mother's presence here. Is there an off-the-record reason why your mother came here?
If only my mother trusted me, but she remained very mysterious. I'd have been delighted to answer your question.
Is this usual for her?
As head of the Order, secrets are her bread and butter, as you can imagine. That said, it's the first time she hasn't let me in on the reason for her trip. And it intrigues me, to tell you the truth.
Well, I'm sure that Sarah will explain everything once she reappears. There's something I still don't get. In your opinion, why would your mother remain in hiding over several weeks?
Her not coming back to the manor after so long makes me wonder if she is wary of someone.
Well, certainly. But whom? The only ones who were present during her stay were Sir Gregory, Duchess Hillsborough, Mr. Von Wilmer, and myself.
You forget Elizabeth Adams, my lord.
That's true. But Gregory and I arranged it so that they wouldn't run into each other. I thought it had worked. Do you think that your mother felt she was in danger because of Elizabeth?
It's possible.
The only thing I can tell you is that Sarah had indeed changed. At the beginning of her stay here, we enjoyed spending time together, solving the world's problems.
You seem to know my mother very well, my lord. What did you talk about together?
Oh, as soon as we had a little free time, we liked to share points of view about practically any subject. We would find ourselves embarked on interminable discussions that could go from Monsieur Blanchard's flight in a hot air balloon to the Treaty of Jassy, or the adoption of the metric system in France last year, or even Mr. Eli Whitney's invention in the United States.
The armistice between the Russians and the Turks. Russia's come out of it having officially won Crimea, which gives it direct access to the Black Sea.
And, at the same time, the Mediterranean Sea. I'm worried about the decisions Tsarina Catherine might decide to take. She's a woman who managed to get rid of her husband to accede to the upper reaches of power. Gaining access to the Mediterranean Sea remains her main objective. When she still had that dear Potemkin as her lover, I could always find out about her intentions, but those days are over.
You're speaking of Grigory Alexandrovich Potemkin?
The very man. The little devil behind the mother of all Russians. Since his death, I know absolutely nothing of what the Tsarina is up to.
Oh, really?
Ah, yes. I didn't mean to shock you. Please forgive me. Let's just say that, in my position, it is often advantageous to know about the habits and customs of world leaders.
I'm surprised she didn't get you started on the Crusades. It was her favorite subject.
Are you joking? Sarah and I spent entire days together reliving them. It so happens that the Crusades are also my subject of predilection, especially the third. My ancestor distinguished himself brilliantly during the siege of Saint-Jean d'Acre.
Mother lulled my childhood with tales of the Crusades. How Richard the Lionheart and Philip Augustus had to battle it out to achieve their ends. And how Guy de Lusignan, having broken his word, launched the siege of Saint-Jean d'Acre.
Oh, I see Sarah's lessons have inspired new enthusiasts. Good on you, because not everyone can claim they know as much at your age. Your mother is a very well-read woman. I'm quite lucky to have her as a model.
Yes, I know, but I'm still very worried.
I must admit, there are worse things to worry about now, Louis.
What do you mean?
Since she disappeared, your mother has been seen once. Her behavior on the evening of your arrival greatly surprised Gregory and myself. She resurfaced to attack Emma, Emily Hillsborough's twin sister. And she shot her with a pistol. Then, before Gregory could intervene, she ran off and disappeared again.
I beg your pardon? Hang on.
That means my vision on the wharf, it was actually happening inside the manor. Mother shot Emily's sister? The very person she came looking for? Why would she do that?
Excuse me, but between that and the childhood of Lady Adams, it's all a bit much for me to cope with. I need to piece it all together again to see things more clearly. You said that you spent a lot of time talking together at the beginning. What happened for that to change?
I'm afraid I haven't much to tell you. The more the days went by, the more she withdrew into herself. She never gave me an explanation. Until the day came when she purely and simply disappeared.
Where did she go when she wanted to be alone?
She would shut herself away in a room we use as a box room upstairs.
Would you allow me to go there?
Naturally, of course. I'll send you a servant to open it.
Thank you.
That's all I can tell you about the disappearance of your mother, Louis. I would like to have been more helpful.
I shall stay on her trail and follow Penny leads.
Thank you. We will meet later on to welcome our last guest. In the meantime, I shall get someone to open the box room upstairs for you.
Thank you.
The room is just opposite Mortimer's study.
Okay, cool. So that was definitely a bit different than the original direction I was headed in. That was a lot of fucking info. Basically, I don't trust anybody anymore. Emily's gone. She was just getting me drugged up, so that's no good. Can't have that. Emily is still my baby girl, and she got a sister. I hope her sister's okay. I still ain't found my mama. But, where am I going? To the tower room. But we're gonna get through it.
Monsieur Johann von Wulner.
And I won't restart any more times unless I get Emily killed. I kinda want Emily and Emma to live. Everyone else, you're cannon fodder in my eyes. Sorry. But that's how it is. But no, I'm gonna try and do it the best I can, playing pretty relaxed. Give me that. That's mine. Where the fuck is the tower room? Where did I just come out of?
Monsieur Johann von Wulner.
Monsieur Johann von Wulner. Can you run any faster, bro?
Monsieur Jacques Peru.
Moi, Jacques Peru. Can we go see Emily? Yo, how Emma doing? Okay. Alright, well first, let me go to my room. Let's look at the stuff that my mama left me. I can't get in my room? Isn't this my room?
That's me.
Okay. I have to go to the tower room first, whatever.
President George Washington.
Okay, I just went in a gigantic circle. Where is the tower room? Are you kidding me? Shit was right across this fucking hallway. I almost said across the street.
There are burnt papers in the chimney. There's a legible fragment, but hey, I recognize my mother's handwriting. She says, we must find a safer way to communicate. Someone is on to us. Trust in my faith in the man with the sword. So mother had an accomplice here. Who could it be? Who could she be suspicious of? I must find the next part. Faith, sword. I recognize your love of riddles there.
Trust in my faith. The man with the sword. That's gotta be
Great. Honey.
it's gotta be what's his face.
Dante's Paradise. Raise your head and be reassured. For what comes up here from the mortal world must ripen.
Purple water will give me a little reprieve.
Yeah, thank you for shutting him up.
Door appears to be locked on the other side.
She says, we must find a safer way to communicate. Someone is onto us. Trust in my faith in the man with the sword. Is that even a proper sentence? Trust in my faith in the man with the sword. Open that bitch.
I think I heard something fall to the ground. A metallic sound, like a key falling to the floor. St. Paul on the road to Damascus by Caravaggio. Caravaggio attained a magnificent command of black and the play of colors too. Paul facing an ordeal, the curtains of his illusions being raised, and receives the light from his Savior. Dante's Paradise. Raise your head and be reassured, for what comes up here from the mortal world must ripen in our ways.
A Byzant from the Byzantine Empire. A coin often used during the St. Louis era.
Did my controller turn off? Why can't I pick a option? Okay.
Open sesame. It's open.
A chest with the occult symbol representing air. The New Testament. This book is incredibly precious. I believe this is the book my mother referred to when calling upon the Lord. This volume dates from the first edition of Gutenberg. It's the first book that was ever printed. Pages are covered in annotations in Latin, French, and Hebrew. Someone spent years studying this Bible.
Alright, man with the sword, man with the sword. Looking for a motherfucking man with a sword.
St. Paul painted by Guido Reni. St. Paul painted by Guido
Shut
Reni.
up. Get this. Get that. Paintings, that's not important right now. That's important. Alright, now we gotta read this. This is what she mean, right? That guy has a sword? He has a spear. That's not a sword, but whatever. Man with the sword. Man with the sword. You gonna make me read all this? Oh my god.
I say then, have they stumbled that they should fall? God forbid, but rather through their fall, salvation is come unto the Gentiles, for to provoke them to jealousy.
Wait. A note from Mother is carefully folded between the pages here. What does it say?
Dear E, I'm glad you found this note. I was afraid the code of the two groups of pilgrims would mislead you. Pick up the package. Know where, and hide it where no one will find it. It's imperative. Awaiting your reply, hidden behind the youngest apostle. What? The youngest apostle? What does Mother mean by that?
I didn't even know this one. How am I supposed to figure the fucking other one out? Stop. Stop circling. Turn on. Controller, turn on. Okay. The youngest apostle. She's not an apostle.
It's St. John, painted by Guido Rini.
Several portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Rini.
It looks like someone touched this commode recently. There are fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust.
That he's not the youngest apostle. That's for fucking sure. Alright, I like how this guy looks. He's got a nice face on him. But the youngest apostle is over here.
That's right, St. John is often credited with writing about the apocalypse in the last book of the Bible.
He's also known as the youngest of Christ's apostles. Hey, wait! That means it's him. He's the youngest apostle.
Right. This painting is therefore associated with the answer which E had to give to my mother. Now, I just need to know how to recover the answer.
St. John is the only apostle painted in this gallery who hasn't got a beard.
The painting looks like it's been taken down recently. What was it my mother said? That she would wait for an answer hidden behind the apostle. Ah, of course. There's something written behind the painting.
No shit,
On
dude.
the second day, the pilgrims will listen to the prophecy of the young apostle. They shall add one companion to their left and 3 to their right to complete their rank. What does it mean? On the second day, the pilgrims listened to the prophecy of the young apostle. The prophecy of the young apostle, that was John. And the prophecy mentioned is most likely the book of Revelations according to St. John. They should add a companion to their left and 3 to their right to complete their ranks. I imagine it applies to their code, the one Mother set up with the pilgrims. What's this? A group of pilgrims who Paul was talking to, and now John is telling them prophecies?
Yo, I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. I don't know what's going on, dude. What is happening? Alright.
I and my Father are one.
Huh? I'm pretty sure that was the motherfucking
father alone.
This motherfucker. Alright. Nope, nope. Wasn't it 1 to the left and 3 to the right, or was it 3 to the... I don't remember. I don't fucking remember.
And ye know that he was manifested to take away our sins, and in him is no sin.
What was the fucking code again?
On the second day, the pilgrims listened to the prophecy of the young apostle. The prophecy of the young apostle, that was John. And the prophecy mentioned is most likely the book of Revelations according to St. John. They should add a companion to their left and 3 to their right to complete their ranks. I imagine it applies to their code, the one Mother set up with the pilgrims. What's this? The group of pilgrims who Paul was talking to, and now John is telling them prophecies?
I gotta go through all this shit? Alright, motherfucking John. Where's John? John. Boom. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm about 1 minute away from just fucking randomly selecting things. Philippians, Corinthians, Thessalonians, Hebrews. It's not that. Alright, let me go here. Epistles of John, Revelation to John. Here we go. Here it is. This one. This one.
And I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. And see thou hurt not the oil and the wine.
That didn't help me. Analyze that bitch.
And the woman was given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time, and times, and half a time, from the face of the serpent. Hey, a new note. It's been folded carefully in the corner of this page. The writing, it's not my mother's. S. I found the book in your effects.
You kidding?
Where no one can get their hands on it. I can assure you, awaiting your instructions, I will hear you reply like he who hears the angel. Hears the angel? What does that mean? Oh, it's probably the place where she was expecting to get the location of the next note.
Who in this room here is a fucking angel?
It's too
cumbersome for me to unhook here, but judging by the dust, it hasn't been moved for months, if not years.
Okay, that was helpful. Move away from that, because it's not him, it's him. He's looking up, he hears an angel.
St.
Got
Paul
it.
painted by Guido Rini. St. Paul is shown holding a sword. Strange. There's hardly any dust, as if the painting's been cleaned recently. There's a small inscription engraved on the frame. Let's take a closer look. This is how Paul spoke to his pilgrims from Rome. Just above that, someone's written down the figure 11 on the painting and underlined it twice. No, what does that mean?
Oh, I already did that one. I'm dumb. My bad. Y'all should know I'm dumb.
A drawing of the Apostle Matthew, painted by Guido Rini. He's represented as writing the word of the Lord, transmitted by the Holy Spirit, who appears here in the guise of an angel. There's something else behind this painting. It says, half of each group will join the first city of Corinth. What the hell does that mean?
Your guess is as good as mine, buddy. I never did get to all that reading. Half of the first group will join the first group of Corinth? What? Fucking supposed to do in this? Where's Corinthians? Get me out of here. This isn't the one I need. Where's fucking Corinthians? Oh my god. It's Paul, Corinthians. Half of the first group. Okay. Oh, I like this. Alright. Okay. Waiting your instructions, I will hear your reply, like he who hears the angel. Nowhere does it say. Alright, whatever.
Now, therefore, there is utterly a fault among you, because ye go to law with one another. Why do ye not rather suffer injustice? Why do ye not rather suffer yourselves to be defrauded?
Ah, look, here's a message. It is of paramount.
What is happening?
Find it. Watch out for the Prussian. He's on the trail. Let's meet up. I'll leave it to you to organize the rendezvous. Not today. I'm unable to do it. In the meantime, I'll follow the first group to Mark, who will reveal the answer to them.
And that first group of pilgrims, how many are there now? If I refer to the chapter I'm reading at the moment, 6.
I wasn't paying attention again. I don't know what's happening. It isn't in paramount. No, wait. It is of paramount importance that no one finds it. Watch out for the Prussian. He's on the trail. Let's meet up. I'll leave it to you to organize the rendezvous. Not today. I'm unable to do it. In the meantime, I'll follow the first group to Mark, who will reveal the answer to them. What the fuck is happening here? This is gonna be the longest part, and I'm just reading a fucking book. The first group. What did that say? Follow the first group to Mark. Who the fuck is Mark? Acts of the Apostles. Gospel of Mark. What does it say? Who will reveal the answer to them.
And he became very hungry and would have eaten, but while they were made ready, he fell into a trance. Hey, there's a note here. A message from Mother in reply to Eve. must leave urgently, but first I absolutely must go beyond the nightmare. Watch out for Roller. He figured out I was avoiding him. Allay suspicion. See you tomorrow evening. Stand ready. For now, let's cease all communication until we meet. Take care of yourself. I suppose this must be the last message. What happened afterward? If it's what I suspect, I fear the worst. What did Mother mean by I absolutely must go beyond the nightmare? I must go beyond the nightmare. What does she mean by that? I'm guessing it's a metaphor. I need to figure out what this means. Mortimer's getting his guests together. I ought to join them so I don't look suspicious.
Yo, that was some bullshit. Oh my god, remember to cut that out. Now I gotta do more work. It probably would have been easier for me to just think about the puzzle for a little bit, but I didn't really do that, so whatever. Let me join the other guests. This video is getting long anyway. Fuck this room. Oh, that's the end of it. Good. I need to end this part. Okay, and remember to cut that out as well. Ooh. Okay, well that took fucking forever. Benefit center background, arts, geography, history, science.
It's time I went back and joined everyone in the small salon.
Alright, well, I think that was the end of that quest, so I'm gonna call that a part right now. I do have to remember that I gotta cut some shit out because that was a little bit more lengthy than I wanted it to be. Fun stuff. But anyway, we're gonna see what's cracking with everybody else on the next playthrough. So, without any further ado, you know I bid you adieu. And until next time, you dig, stay steady. Bye.
Do